I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll talk about how to pronounce theism and theology. So these two words have the same initial sounds, the voiceless TH sound. This is the same th sound that we have in words like think or both, as opposed to the voice sound of TH that we have in words like that or breathe. So the first part in both words is the TH sound and then the tense E vowel. So it sounds like the. When I write this here, you might think the because we do have a word the with a voice sound. So make sure that you think of this as the voiceless TH, the. Like in the word theater, that's a good one to think of. It has the same combination with that voiceless TH and E sound. In theism, the stress is here on this first syllable, the. So it's going to be long and it's going to have that clear vowel. And then the ism syllables are going to be shorter and have reduced vowels. So we have the I sound, like in sit or is. And then the letter S says the Z sound in this word. And finally, there's really no vowel between the Z sound, the Z, and the zum. But I wrote it here with letter U because if there is a vowel there, it's like a little reduced schwa sound. Ism, theism. So that ism ending, that is the same way we pronounce those ISM letters in other words with ism, like prism, or when that is a suffix like it is in theism. So that's a good thing to practice the ism, and then you can practice the first part of the word, theism. Then when we get to theology, we have a different rhythm. We still have the the sound at the beginning, but this time it's going to be short rather than long. It's not going to be stressed. The stress in theology, it falls on the ah syllable, theology. So this letter O says vowel ah. Typically in a stressed syllable in English, you'll often see letter O saying ah rather than O or ah. So thinking about no rounding on that vowel, ah, ology. And this ology ending is the same in other words like psychology, mythology, etc. So that ology is going to be consistent with this pronunciation. In theology, we have the for the first syllable. Then our second letter O is vowel schwa. That sounds like That's because this first O is stressed, second one is unstressed. So ology. And letter G here says the J sound. You could think of it as a letter J if that's easier for you to pronounce. We either spell it with J like job or G like theology or gentleman, for example. For this word with this many syllables, it might be helpful to break it down one syllable at a time, say it slowly, and then put them back together, speeding up. That would sound like theology, theology, theology. Notice that between the thea, I'm moving from the E to the ah. I might have a little bit of a y sound in there, theology. There's no, we're not going to see the glide in the IPA, and you don't need to intentionally put that y in there. But if you find it hard to transition between those vowels, we do naturally have a gliding sound. Same thing with theism, theis. You'll just naturally make a gliding sound as you're moving from that tense E to the lax I sound, theism. You can learn more about how those glides work between vowel sounds in our video about vowel to vowel linking, and also in our online course, our American Accent 6-week course, which you can find on speechmodification.com. If you need to know or would like to know more about the voiceless TH sound, these vowel sounds, or any of the sounds of English, check out our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. It walks you through all of the sounds of English and helps you build a strong foundation to pronounce any word you want in American English confidently. Thank you so much for these requests. If you have a request you'd like to see me cover in the Word of the Day series, feel free to leave that in the comments for this video or any of my videos. I really appreciate all the likes, comments, shares. All of that really helps support the channel, and especially thank you to those of you who have subscribed and joined as channel members. I'll be back again tomorrow with another Word of the Day class, as well as on Saturday, we'll have our live question and answer class, You can attend that, type your questions in the chat, and I'll answer them for you live. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you again soon.